In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the quadratic formula. Okay, quadratic formula is a really powerful tool for solving quadratics when you can't factorize them. Okay, so here, for example, if you tried to factorize this quadratic into double brackets, it would be really difficult to do that and then try and find the solution to that equation. Okay, so it's really difficult to factorize some quadratics because the answer or the brackets might involve some decimals or some surds. It's really tricky to do. Okay, the quadratic formula helps you to solve quadratic equations that equal 0, and it's a really simple formula, but it's one that you're going to have to memorize. You're going to have to know off by heart for your exam, and it can work out the equation to any. Sorry, it can work out the solution to any quadratic, for that matter. Okay, so first of all, your quadratic equation must look like this. It must be some term, some number times x squared, plus some number times x, plus some number, and it must equal 0. Okay. Now, the numbers that you kind of multiply x squared by, you multiply x by, and you add at the end, can be anything. They can be positive, negative, decimals, anything you want. So the great thing about the quadratic formula is the numbers can be anything, not just whole numbers. They can be decimals or all sorts. Okay, so here is a quadratic equation. Okay, now what is the actual quadratic formula? It's this. So the answer for x equals the following. It equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2 times a. Now, this is the formula that you need to know off by heart. And the only new thing is this weird plus or minus symbol, which I'll explain later on. Okay. Now, how to use the formula is dead simple. All you have to do is plug A, B, C into this formula, type it on the calculator, and write down the answer. Okay. And it's dead simple. Okay. Now, first of all, we're going to solve this equation here. So what's a, first of all? Well, a is the number that multiplies x squared, and in this case it's minus 2. And by the way, you don't need to do anything to this equation because it equals 0. You don't need to make the x squared term positive or anything like that. As long as it equals 0 and there's 3 parts to it, we can just go straight to the formula. Okay, so a is minus 2, b is positive 5, and c is equal to minus 2. Okay, so let's go over here now, and let's kind of actually work out the answer to this equation. So I need a big fraction line first of all. Okay, so first of all, the formula starts with negative b. Okay, so minus b. Now our b is positive 5, so minus b would be minus 5. Okay, now that plus or minus symbol I'll explain later on, so let's just copy it here, plus or minus, the square root. Okay, inside the square root, it says b squared, so that's going to be rb, which is 5, so 5 squared, take away, and then it's 4 times, so it's 4 times a. Now our a is minus 2, so I'm going to write that here, so 4 times minus 2, I'm going to put it in the bracket, and then it's going to be times c, which is minus 2 again. And then the whole thing is divided by 2 times a. So 2 times, actually let's just write 2 times minus 2. So 2 times minus 2. Okay, right. Now, I'm going to work a few things out. I'm going to work out this thing here under the square root first of all, because that's the most important thing. Okay, so I'm going to work out that thing first. So I'm going to work out b squared minus 4 times a times c. So I'm going to work out this thing here. So just to kind of save time, I'm going to just do it on the calculator. So it's take away 4 times negative 2 times negative 2, and that gives you 9. So it's minus 5 plus or minus the square root of 9, okay, divided by 2 times minus 2, which is minus 4. Okay, so this is the formula so far. Okay, now what we're going to do is actually work out what x is. Now x, I need to explain to you what that plus or minus symbol means. Okay, this is a new symbol to you, and it's very simple. It literally means the words add or take away. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take minus 5, and we're going to add or take away the square root of 9. Now, square root of 9 is an easy number. It's just 3, isn't it? So we're going to add 3 and divide by minus 4. So one of the answers is going to be minus 5 add 3 divided by minus 4, which is 0.5. Okay. Now, the other solution is minus 5 take away the square root of 9, which is 3. So it's going to be minus 5 take away 3 divided by minus 4, which is positive 2. They are your answers to this equation here. Okay, they're the answers. Now, by the way, this equation you could have factorized it, because it's possible to do that. But in another one, we'll have to round the answers to 3dp. So I'm going to show that in a minute. Okay, so let's just convert and check that. Okay, so first of all, it didn't like that because it thinks it's an A. I need to write clearly, that's a 9. Okay, so that is the answer, and it's telling us that it's the answer. Okay, but just kind of make sure you write it clearly. Right, let's do another one. Okay, so this is another one. Let's do another one. Let's write down what A is. First of all, A is minus 12. Actually, let's do another one where the B is a negative term. Okay, let's refresh that. Okay, so let's do this one here. So A is going to be 2, B is going to be negative 4, and C is going to be minus 1. Okay, so remember the formula. It's minus B. So x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You need to memorize this. Make sure you learn this. Okay, you need to know it off by heart. Okay, so first of all, we need so minus b. Okay, now our b is minus 4. So what's minus b? That's going to be minus 4, so that's positive 4. Okay, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so that's going to be minus 4 squared. Just remember, if you're squaring a negative, make sure you write it in a bracket. So minus 4 squared, take away 4 times a, now a is 2, times c, which is minus 1. Okay, and the whole thing is being divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times 2. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to work out the discriminant. Sorry, I'm going to work out the thing under the square root. So that's going to be minus 4. That's going to be 16. Take away 4 times 2 times minus 1. That's 24. So it's going to be 4 plus or minus the square root of 24 all over 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay. Now, I wouldn't even bother doing anything with this now. I just type it in the calculator. So remember, so one of the solutions is going to be x add root 24. So let's work that out. 4 add the square root of 24 divided by 4, and to 3 decimal places that will be 2.225. Okay, comma, and the next one is going to be 4 take away the square root of 24. So 4 take away square root of 24 divided by 4, and that is going to be negative 0.225. So they're the two answers for x. Let's convert that. Okay, I'm just going to double check because I want to get 100% on this. Okay, let's put that there. Let's convert that again. Okay, so yeah, okay, right, so they're the answers, okay, to 3dp. So remember, you're going to do it to 3dp in this question. You've got to know that formula off by heart, you've got to practice it, and you've got to make sure you're kind of getting it right each time, okay? Some equations require you to solve it by using the quadratic formula, especially on the calculator paper. So make sure you practice it and make sure you kind of do it until you kind of keep getting them right, okay? Thank you for watching.